All right, out here on the roadside with Nightwing, West Entrance Road in Blackstone. We're heading home, and I figured since I've been putting him off for so long, I guess I'll tell one of his infamous stories after we get out of the road and avoid making another one of his infamous stories. I just discovered this on this phone. I did not know that when you video that the light would come on to make light for the video. So it's pretty cool. So you can see him now. I'm going into more light so you'll see him better. But I didn't know about this. It's pretty cool. But which story do I want to tell? He's got so many. Before he was even mine, he had picked up quite a few stories. All right, I'll explain how he came to be. So Nightwing is of course you all know he's a Siberian Husky. He was originally purchased. I don't know where he came from before this, but he was originally purchased by a couple in Florida. And on his AKC papers that I have, his name is Demon Hire. Now, I assume they named him Demon because the doggone snow dogs named Demon. And if you look at his puppy pictures, he looks like that dog because he was darker. And as he's gotten older, he's only 6, but I mean, as he got older and his permanent features developed, he got lighter. So it'll throw you off now because Demon was black and white, and Nightwing's mostly gray and white, kind of tawny in the summertime like we're getting into now. But his original birth name was Demon Hire, and the lady that had him, she found out she was pregnant, and she didn't want a rambunctious husky in the house, and I'm going to go over that when I do the full Do You Really Want a Husky video, if you're looking for one. She didn't want a rambunctious husky in the house, so she gave Nightwing, who was Demon at the time, I even like saying that, but gave him to her in-laws, and the in-laws lived in an RV. Now, it's already crazy enough to have a rambunctious husky and living in an RV, but they also, I can't ever remember whether it was 2 other dogs or 3 other dogs. I know a Doberman was involved, so it was at least 1 other dog. I think it was 2 other dogs in there with him. So you've got multiple dogs living in an RV, elderly couple. All of this is just recipes for this isn't going to end well. And sure enough, it didn't. So from the way the story goes, they arrived in Dinwiddie, Virginia. And if anybody from Virginia knows Virginia, they know probably, if they're from Southside Virginia, they'll know where Dinwiddie is. But for the purposes of this story, it's nearby where we are. And my neighbors, well, not my neighbors, but friends of mine, Nightwing is being so, I don't know what he's doing right now. We get into the rhythm of walking, and then he smells a rabbit or something and knocks me off course. All right, you ready? Anyway, we get into, what am I saying? Oh, crap. What was I talking about? Oh, so got him from Dinwiddie. I'm going to pull him out of there. I don't know what he's, briars and stuff over there. Anyway, let's go. All right. So anyway, Dinwiddie. He came from Dinwiddie. Friends of mine saw him being advertised on Facebook, and they were like, hey, let's go get a husky. And I forget how many hundreds of dollars they paid for him, and they got Nightwing. And then they named him Nightwing because they had a dog named Batman, and Nightwing is supposed to be Robin's alter ego or something. I can't really remember how that goes, but then Batman ended up biting some kid, and they had to get rid of Batman. And then about a year and a half later, Nightwing just became too much for him because he used to, run away a lot. I mean, when Nightwing runs away, he doesn't run away to stay away. He's just running away because he's a husky. They're wanderers. They come back when they're ready, but got leash laws and stuff around here. Not everybody knows that he's friendly, so they see him and they're like, "Oh, it's a wolf running loose." So between him getting loose, them not having the time to give him the proper exercise, and you know, just dealing with life from on all other circuits, they gave him to me, and he's been with me ever since. And I tell everybody, and I tell him that I'm going to be his last human. I mean, of course, he's going to be around all the humans I'm around, but as he's always been since he's been with me. But I'm just saying, I'm the last primary caretaker that he's going to have because I have husky know-how. But that's the story of how I ended up with Nightwing. And Nightwing is the first dog that I've ever had that I didn't have to give back at the end of the day, or wasn't my uncle's dog, it wasn't a cousin's dog or something like that. Nightwing is the first dog that I've had that's actually my dog, so that's kind of special. So, and I always said I wanted a dog that looked like a wolf, and snow dogs, I watched that all the time when I was little, so I guess I was always destined to have a husky. And I'm active, I jog a lot, I run a lot, I walk a lot, so huskies are good for all those things. I like the cold. He's a husky, he likes the cold. And that's what it is. It was things in life are just meant to be, and I was just meant to end up with Nightwing. So now he's gonna go over there into this cactus bush over here and scratch his nose up if I don't pull him away. It's sad because it's like I think he doesn't understand sometimes I'm trying to protect him from himself, and he thinks I'm just being mean. Because right now he really wants to smell this bush over here, and I'm not going to let him do that, because the last time he did that, and I wish he'd remember, he got thorns in his nose, and he whimpered for the rest of the walk. So he thinks I'm just being mean, pulling him away from fun and excitement, and I'm actually trying to save his nose. But anyway, that's how I ended up with Nightwing. And he's been making more adventures and more stories to tell ever since. So that's the story.